Fall Guy is a new action romantic comedy starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, directed by David Leitch. In this movie, Ryan Gosling plays a stuntman. He used to have this romantic connection with Emily Blunt's character, who's now an established director for herself. Long story short, it looked like they were going somewhere. It looked like their romance was really hitting strides, and then a horrible accident happened with him. He basically ghosted her, and they completely fell apart romantically. Now he's been recruited to be a stuntman on her directorial debut film. However, the star of this movie, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, has gone missing, and now he's been sent to try to find out what's happened to him, all in an attempt to win over the one that got away in Emily Blunt. This just looked like a fun time at the movies. I mean, the trailers were all great, everything looked entertaining, the cast looked awesome. And it also touches on something that I, as a movie fan, have a lot of respect for. I believe every other movie fan has a lot of respect for. And it's a group of people that just don't get enough recognition, and that's the stunt crew. In this movie, Ryan Gosling's character has a monologue. It's like, yeah, we risk life and limb, we do all this cool shit to make the stars of the movie look good. That's exactly what it is. So I was excited to see a movie from the perspective of the type of people who work as stuntmen. I just thought David Leitch was a great director for a movie like this. Not just because he's given us action movies like Bullet Train recently, or Deadpool 2, or John Wick, but he is also a former stuntman himself. So if he's gonna understand what it means to really show in a movie what stunt crew go through, he's the perfect guy for it. And honestly, this movie is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's a fun, funny, cute movie. Yeah, it's best way I could describe it. So right out the gate, Ryan Gosling, I really gotta give him credit here. I feel like in the last couple of years, this guy has really truly shown his range as an actor. This guy can really do it all. I mean, we've seen him in very serious, dramatic sort of roles, and he's absolutely crushed it in those. I mean, Drive, The Place Beyond the Pines, Blade Runner 2049. Movies like La La Land and Crazy Stupid Love, you could definitely see some lightheartedness in him, some funny moments in him, but it didn't really showcase his comedy. Last year though, we got Barbie, and although I have my flaws with Barbie, I think everyone in this world can agree, and even the people who deny it deep down know it's true. Ryan Gosling as Ken was by far and away the best part of that movie. Yeah, it may have been called Barbie, but that was Ken's film, and I will go to my grave saying that. I mean, Ryan Gosling in that movie, he wasn't afraid to be silly, be ridiculous, be a cartoon version of himself, and he absolutely crushed it. And here you feel like he's really honing more into that. He's like, I really made even more of a name for myself with Barbie. Let me take the name that I made for myself here and let me apply it more here. I mean, he's hilarious in this movie. He crushes it as the stunt guy, and you completely buy into him and you're rooting for him to try to bring in Emily Blunt. I mean, Emily Blunt as well is great in this movie. I mean, she's always had that charisma, that likability, that charm to her. She plays a great female protagonist without ever being shoved in our face that she's the strong, independent woman character. And yeah, this goes without saying, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt is just magic in this movie. I mean, the way they flirt with each other, the way they have a conversation with each other. I mean, even though in the beginning it's a romance that didn't necessarily work out, you quickly see in the two of them that you feel like there's something there. Like, this isn't just like Ryan Gosling's going on this mission and he's trying to win Emily Blunt over and that's the only way he could possibly win her over. No, it all seemed very real here. I mean, they have great banter with each other. It almost felt kind of like these really good friends that want to be more in the beginning. It's like Ryan Gosling wants to win her back and Emily Blunt is hoping Ryan Gosling can win her back. As a result, it just makes it the perfect romance. It's cute, it's believable, it's sweet. In fact, honestly, their chemistry was just so good in the movie, it almost makes you wish they would date in real life, but then you remember Emily Blunt's married to John Krasinski and you're just like, alright, Jim from The Office can stay. And yeah, how's the humor in this movie? For the most part, I did think the movie was really funny. Very well timed. A lot of the humor and the dialogue felt very authentic. One issue I did have with the comedy though is they do have their moments where something happens and it is very funny, but they do kind of drag the joke out a little longer than they really need to. Kind of to the point where it's not really funny anymore and you're kind of looking at the movie and you're just like, okay, you can skip to the next joke or the next segment or whatever you're gonna do next now because the joke's running stale. As far as the story of this movie goes, it's a very simple, straightforward story. I mean, is it predictable? Yeah, it is. I mean, you kind of suspect what's going on with certain people, with certain characters in this movie as the story goes along. You can kind of predict in your head how it's going to end. But getting into the big thing that I think will really sell this movie, along with the chemistry between the two leads, it is the action in this movie. I mean, David Leitch knows how to bring a great, fun action movie, and that's absolutely here. I mean, there are fight scenes, chase scenes, even the moments that happen on the movie set itself that take place in this movie. Not only are they exciting, not only are they a great time, but what I appreciate that this movie does, namely when it shows action scenes happening on the movie set that's here, you really do get that peek behind the curtain of what stunt crew have to do to pull off an epic movie action scene. Even during the mid-credits, they show like behind the scene footage of the actual stunt work that went on with the fall guy itself. I really appreciated that. Because what this movie really does hammer home for us, and I think really does hit effectively, is it shows the level of talent and guts it really does take to be a stunt guy. I mean, they gotta do all these takes over and over again just to get the perfect shot, the perfect moment, and that might mean you gotta tumble around in a car a few more times, or you gotta set yourself on fire a few times. Like, it's pretty wild shit they gotta put themselves through, and this movie really encompasses that. Whether it's Ryan Gosling playing the stunt guy that's going through these movie action scenes within the movie itself, or it's the actual action scenes that are happening in the movie. It's all a lot of fun, and it gives you a massive respect for the people involved. So all in all, I had a great time with The Fall Guy. The characters in this movie are great, namely the two leading performances, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. They're both excellent. They were fantastic together. You're going to be shipping them hard the second the movie starts. The story is simple. The humor does get a little bit redundant at times, but the humor, when it needed to be effective, for the most part, was very effective. The action is a lot of fun. It leaves you walking out with a much greater respect for the people involved in stunt crew and movies. And in the end, it's exactly the type of movie that it marketed itself to be, and it completely works in that sense. You know what it is? It's the perfect date movie. I mean, it has great humor, it has a great romance, it has great action. I really can't see anyone walking out of this movie and saying, yeah, I didn't like it. So there you go, guys. Bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring the chick you just matched with on Hinge. Everyone's gonna have a good time with it. So that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.